Hey there, Amplifiers. Thanks for tuning in. One of the coolest things I get to do is connect with other advisors out there who are amplifiers in the world. They all have their unique gifts. They're following their true passion. They're serving a higher purpose. Today, I've got a guest who is internationally making a difference, and that's really cool. It's great to make a difference in your local community, but you think big, you take bolder action, you can make a bolder impact in the world. Anastasia Ristovska is the founder of Books at Ease, and she's dedicated to empowering small, medium-sized businesses, typically in the digital space, kind of get their finances under control. She is a rock star professional, and I'd like to welcome her to Growth Amplifiers. Welcome, Anastasia.
Thanks, Kenny, for having me. It's a pleasure talking with you. I'm following your podcast recently, and it's really awesome. The people you're inviting are really inspiring, and I've learned everything. I mean, a lot of things from each and every one. So great to be here and share my journey as well.
Glad to have you here. Glad to be pulling from your bank of wisdom that you've picked up through the years. Now, I know you have Books at Ease, but I also know you have another business that is empowering people. Tell us more about that business.
Next Generation is a company which was founded 7 years ago. And we started first as a back office support for accountants and CPAs from US. Mm-hmm. But recently, I mean, not recently, but along the way, we've realized that there is a lack of skilled accountants on the market who need to fill the gap, actually. And that was my motivation to open the Bookkeeping Academy, which is successfully running for 7 years and training accounting professionals outside of the US on US accounting principles, business principles, communication, everything that is important to be ready to enter the competitive market as the US market is.
It's really important because what I've seen in the other realm, because sometimes we work with marketers from different backgrounds, different places. People can have a good knowledge base. They could have some of the skills, but they're missing some key components. They're missing some understanding of some things, and that can cause some challenges, I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely. So the knowledge and the education is the first layer, for sure. I mean, you need to be, at least this is what I believe. You need to start with a solid education first, and then a practical experience for sure. But that's not prepares you for the real business world. Because when you're at college, at the university, whatever, you're learning the technical skills, what you need to do to make for a living. But when you enter the market, when you open a business, then it's different. Then you need to learn how to talk to people, how to price your service, how to sell your services, how to motivate and train your team. So it's really a self-discovery journey that opens a lot of questions and that you didn't know about yourself, you know? And sometimes it's really interesting because I was thinking that some of the strengths that I thought I have before I started my business are not the strengths, and vice versa. Some of the weaknesses I thought I have are now my best strengths. So, for example, I will share what was that. I thought that I'm introvert. I mean, I am. And that talking to people, communicating with them, it's something that I cannot do. It's maybe hard for me and so on. But when I entered the business, I realized that no, this is something that I can do very well. And maybe I was thinking that I'm not good at because I didn't have a chance to do that at this level. So really, it's interesting what kind of aspects you're discovering for yourself and how you're learning along the way.
So learning along the way, I'm curious to know what got you to what you're doing now. What was your path to kind of get started from, getting into the professional realm to having these two businesses that you're running? How did that happen?
My career started almost 20 years ago. I was a corporate accountant for international companies that has like HQ in US, but were worldwide spread. And 7 years ago, as I said, I thought that now it's time to start my own business. Let's try it this way. And I was thinking recently what motivated me to start my first company and then the second company. And the first thing was, okay, numbers. Most of my fellow accountants will say, because I love the numbers, I opened accounting practice. And that's sure for one point, because yes, obviously I want numbers. I pursued finance education. But the real spark was the desire for freedom and the curiosity, what you can do with your own hands and brain if everything depends on you. And it's really interesting that because when you're employed in a corporation, no matter how good your position it is or your experience or whatever, still you need to follow some organizational structure. And you're not the one who is making all decisions. But now you're free to do whatever you want and see the results of your performance. So that was the thing. The second thing was that gap that I was talking about. During my work as a corporate accountant, I had a lot of communication with another businesses, with another US accounting companies. And I've seen that there is a lack of skilled and educated accounting professionals. And there is an irony at the moment because we know that the market is already full with a lot of bookkeepers, accountants, and so on. But still, companies are trying to find a reliable partner and to rely on when it comes to their business and their finances. So I thought, okay, let's start this. Let's use my knowledge, my experience, my motivation to train and educate people into a practice who will start as a back office support for accountants at first place. Later on, as I've developed, I saw that, okay, now there is another potential to serve a small businesses from the digital space with reliable accounting support. And let's try this company as well. So basically, I've combined my two passions, training, educating people, loving the numbers, communicating with people into two companies which are successfully working for 7 years.
Well, high five.
Thank you.
Congratulations. So when it comes to growth, Growth Amplifiers always looking for ideas of how to grow. What we see the people in the bookkeeping and accounting space is they have sometimes they get the mindset that marketing or sales is they resist it, but it's an important part to make sure that you're communicating how you can help people solve their challenges, how you can help people get what they want, and you don't need to push your agenda on people. You simply just share and let them know, hey, if you want help, here's how it can help you. What have you done? How have you found it? What have you found effective to get more customers and grow your business? What strategies work best for you?
Yes. So marketing and sales, as you said, is something that is not natural for accountants at first place. And same on the other side. When the business owners are talking about finance and accounting, they either ignore it or they're lost. However, let's get back to the question. How I'm attracting. I'm trying first to share my knowledge, and I'm having a lot of webinars. I record a lot of videos on topics, content that is relevant for business owners. I share my personal experience from my business, so whoever is listening to me, it's not only hearing about accounting and finance problems, but also problems that I have faced in my business as well. So that's one thing. Second thing, we have introduced 15 minutes finance help discovery calls, which is some sort of a funnel where businesses can schedule a 15 minutes call with me, go over their finances very quick. Okay, 15 minutes is not maybe enough to get in depth with the business, but at least to give to have an idea how it works. So this helps me. It's adding value on one side because business owners are realizing certain things that maybe they were not aware of before they sit on a call. And on the other hand, I'm filling my funnel with potential leads for the future. So that's one of the things that I'm doing regarding and of course, marketing campaigns and everything that is popular at the moment.
So you're taking action by sharing, right? You're putting information out there that is of value. People lean in, they say, hey, that's of value. And then you can extend the offer. Hey, if you want a bit more information, you want a bit more insights, let's have a conversation and see where that conversation goes. It's pretty helpful. And I really like just having that mindset. I'm not here to push anything on anyone. I'm here to share. And for the people that want help with bringing those ideas into action, they want to cultivate transformation, let's talk. Let's have the conversation. It's just a very positive way to work on growth.
Yes, that's for sure. Because normally when you're too salesy or too pushy, there is people don't want that. But when you try to, let's say, share what you know, your knowledge for free, your ideal customers will recognize themselves and say, okay, this person gets me, knows my pain points, knows what I'm looking for, fighting with, and so on. So I think that, and that's one thing. The second thing is giving back to the community, because I believe that now in the era of technology and so much development in that space, it's really pity if we don't share, because now it more than ever is really easy for people from all over the world to get the information and learn and grow something that was not possible, let's say maybe, I don't know, 30 years ago. So let's use this for positive things at least.
And what would be something that you're working on? What's the next step for you? What is a goal that you're working on for growth and inspired to take things to?
Well, now I'm because I've switched the business models, let's say, and these two companies that I'm running are completely different, and each company has its own challenges. Now I'm focused more on growing book cities. So my challenge is how to structure my sales, because selling to accountants, for example, when I was and I'm still working with that as a back office support, but I have a little bit paused that part and I'm more focused on the academy. It's one thing. Building this type of business, when you need to talk to business owners directly, it's something else. So no matter how experienced you are and how long you are in the business, each project is a new journey. So yeah, I'm focused now on building my sales processes to be more effective, to deliver my message the best I can, so I can be more efficient and scale faster.
Awesome. And what is something that you find inspirational? Is there a book that you've read or a podcast that you listen to or a YouTube channel? What's something that you tune into that inspires you?
I'm watching the podcast called The Diary of a CEO from Stephen Bartlett. And it's a really interesting podcast because it covers a lot of topics. It's not only business, but it also includes mindset shift, leadership skills, motivational things that what motivates you to do something. So it's a really broad range of topics. So I'm watching that and it's really interesting. And when it comes to the books, there are a lot of them, but I will, as an owner, recently I've read 3 of them. One is Pay to Think from David Goldsmith. And it's a really great book because it's combining 4 important things: strategizing, performing, forecasting, and learning. which is really important thing. Then 10 days MBA, which I think that each business owner should read, no matter in what industry it is. It helps you to understand the core cycle of each business and each components which are important for you as a business owner to know in order to run your business. And one really interesting thing, the book Getting Things Done from David Allen, which really helped me to organize myself, to put priorities, to put everything into a system, to avoid burnout and stress. Because owning a business is, as I said, makes a lot of stress, requires a lot of organization, and so on. So yeah, these are the 3 books.
Well, thank you for sharing those books. I'm a big fan of reading. You get a lot of information, frameworks. Even if you just take away one idea, that could totally transform your future. Small hinges swing big doors. Small little changes can have a huge impact. More people can understand and appreciate that. A lot of times people are looking for that silver bullet that, just make everything work. It's not how things typically work. Usually it's making little adjustments over time and making the best results through consistent persistence. So if people who've tuned in are curious to learn more about you or your businesses, where should they go and what should they do?
Yes, they should visit my website, www.booksatease.com, or connect with me on my LinkedIn profile. So those are the 2 places where you can find me.
Super cool. One of the traditions we have ending these podcasts are just, if you can share something that you've learned on your journey that might be helpful for someone on theirs, that would be a great parting gift.
Yes, absolutely. So my practical tips to the current or future business owners are 3. First, understand your numbers, because it's really important. If you don't understand your numbers, where you are at certain point of time, you're making wrong decisions. And wrong decisions decisions can either build your business or break it down. Second thing is, think about in what phase, at what stage of your business you are. Because sometimes, depending on what stage you are, there are different priorities. Sometimes might be sales, sometimes might be operations, sometimes branding maybe, or building a systems, whatever. I did, for example, a very big mistake at the beginning when I was starting my business in the first and second year. I thought, okay, let's hire an HR for my company, which was completely not necessary, because at that point I wasn't ready for that. I don't needed that. And these things you need to know where you are in order to not overspend your money and not to make a stupid or bad decisions. And third, which is very important, talk to your clients. So talk to people, try to understand what they need, how they feel. The conversation shouldn't be always about your service or the product that you're offering. Talk with them, what are their goals, what they need from you to support them during the journey, because it's really powerful when you see how your small steps make someone else's life better or someone else's business better. So these 3, I think, are very, very important.
Thank you so much for sharing that information. And as always, if you're tuning in, we don't want to just hear things. We want to think about what's one thing I could take away and put into action. You probably heard something, and we want to put that idea in action. Try it out. Even if it's a reminder of an idea that you've heard before, dust it off, freshen it up, put it into action. New actions lead to new results. So Anna, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. Appreciate your time, your energy, your passion, and what you bring into the world. How you're being an amplifier is inspiring. And I thank you very much for visiting Growth Amplifiers.
Thank you so much. We wish you the best of luck in your journey. Keep up with the good work that you're doing so far. And yes, let's empower the world around us.
To show your support, take a moment to amplify this message by sharing it online. To connect with me or gain more business growth insights, visit www.growthamplifiers.com. Thank you for your support.